Hi everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank you for making a wise decision to watch my video. Let's take this moment and together, you and me, thank Udemy.com for creating such a wonderful platform and helping millions of students and instructors across the globe. Thank you, Udemy, and welcome to my session on Introduction to Data Warehouse Basics. Let's pause for a moment and make an effort to go to the Materials tab and have a quick glance or make a note on these items below before starting the course session. We have the course summary, goals and objectives, and prerequisites. By now, you know what the main takeaway is going to be after this session. Let's do a deep dive on our core content to reach our goals and objectives. What is a data warehouse? A data warehouse is a central repository of summarized data from disparate sources. Let me explain this to you with a real simple example. In this picture, we see a wide variety of data like structured numeric data, image data, geographical data, video data, audio data, unstructured document data, and structured text data. And when we try to load this variety of data into a central repository, that central repository is what we call a data warehouse repository or Data Warehouse Database. Let me recap the concept. The central repository is where we store a wide variety of data from disparate sources, and it's called Data Warehouse Repository or Data Warehouse. And the process of loading the data from disparate sources into a data warehouse is called data warehousing. Advantages of data warehouse. Data warehouse provides many advantages to the end user. Let's discuss a few of them now. Data warehouse can help in improving data consistency. Single version of the truth since data is now centralized and there's no scope for redundancy. And with respect to reporting, data warehouse helps improve end users' access to a wide variety of data, providing a place to combine related data from separate sources, empowering end users to perform any level of ad hoc queries or reports without impacting the performance of the operational systems. Hence, data warehouse helps in combining the operational data into useful information, which is then used by users, business analysts to analyze the data or analyze the data pattern and trends to make decisions. Hence, data warehouse helps making right decisions at the right time. Data warehouse definitions. Ralph Kimball and W.H. Inman are known as the fathers of data warehouse. The data warehouse definition by Ralph Kimball goes just like this. A data warehouse is a database specifically designed for analyzing the business, but not for transactional processing. Now, the definition of a data warehouse by W.H. Inman says this. A data warehouse is time-variant, non-volatile, integrated, and subject-oriented. The first DWH was implemented in the year 1987 by W.H. Inman. Why do we need data warehouse? Data warehousing provides an excellent approach for transforming the vast amounts of data that exist in these organizations into useful and reliable information for getting answers to the questions and to support the decision-making process. Let me explain it with a very, very simple example. Can you tell me how many matches are in the diagram? Each one of us can answer this by applying our own ways, but it requires a certain amount of time to be spent to come to that exact number. Now let's take a look at another example. Can you tell me how many matches are there? This makes life very simple. And within no time, the answer is 4, 2, 5, 40 matchsticks. Again, each one of us might have different ways to find the answer. Now let's take some real-time scenarios for our example. One fine morning, businesses come to you and ask you to provide a couple of details that might sound like this. What is the sales distribution region-wise? Which of my sales agents are doing better? How did my revenue improve in the past 5 years? Etc., etc., etc. Without Data Warehouse implemented to answer these questions, it's like counting the matches when they're scattered all across, and it's very difficult to answer within a given time frame. On the other hand, when you have Data Warehouse implemented to answer this question, it's like counting the matches when they're all arranged in some order and pattern. Hence, Data Warehouse simplifies the life by arranging the data in some useful and informative patterns. Where is Data Warehouse used? Data Warehouse is used in almost all sectors across the globe. Some examples are the banking sector, telecommunication industries, retail, manufacturing, insurance, gaming and entertainment, and many, many, many more. Components of Data Warehouse architecture. The core components of Data Warehouse architecture are source system, ETL tool, staging area, target area, DataMarts, and reporting. Let's once again recall the core components of Data Warehouse architecture. They're source data, ETL tool, staging area, target area, DataMarts, and reporting. Now we'll see how these components are represented in real time in a pictorial format. So you have a data source followed by ETL tool, and we have a staging arena, internal ETL, targeting area, DataMarts, and reporting tools. Staging area, target area, and DataMarts together, we call it Data Warehouse Database. Let me repeat it. Staging area, target area, and DataMarts together are what we call Data Warehouse Database. Let's see an overview on each of the core components in Data Warehouse. In a data warehouse, we have ODS, which stands for Operational Data Source. This is where everyday business transactions are stored. We have ETL, or ELT, which stands for Extract, Transform, Load, or Extract, Load, Transform. We have Data Warehouse Database, which consists of a staging area, target area, and DataMarts. We have a reporting layer, which uses the data in the warehouse database to analyze the data and patterns and generate the reports. ODS, ETL, Data Warehouse Database, and reporting all comes together in what we call a data warehouse system. Or we can say that a data warehouse system is made up of ODS, ETL, Data Warehouse Database, and reporting. Metadata is a data dictionary of data in the data warehouse. I repeat, metadata is a data dictionary of data in the data warehouse. Now let's see how the data flows in the data warehouse system. We just learned that operational data sources are continuously loaded with daily transactions of business. We use ETL tool, which connect to the source, extract the transaction data, apply the transformations, and load into a staging area. Once the transformed data is available in the staging area, to this transformed data, we apply the internal ETL, which means apply the business logics and rules into the target area. When data is loaded into the target, Then, form target data is pushed to DataMarts or reporting cubes, or end users for analyzing and generating reports. Or if organizations have DataMarts, then that data will flow via DataMarts to reporting cubes and the end user. Difference between operational data source and data warehouse database. Data content. Operational data source holds only the current values and transactions, where warehouse database stores both history and current transactions, which are summarized. Data structure. Operational data source are optimized for transaction purposes, but warehouse is optimized for complex queries and reporting analysis. Access frequency. Since operational data source is used for daily business transactions, hence the access frequency is very high, unlike warehouse, which is used for analyze and reporting. Access type. Operational data sources are permissioned with read, update, delete, but warehouse data can only be read. Usage. Operational data usage is predictable as it's the same type of business every day. But usage of warehouse is ad hoc and random because we're not sure what kind of reports or queries will be run against the data to analyze the data. Response time. For operational data, it's expected to be in sub-seconds because it's business. Example, ATM centers, grocery stores, shopping, etc. For warehouse response time, might extend up to several minutes. Users. A huge number of users on operational data and a relatively small amount of users on warehouse. Difference between Data Warehouse Database and DataMart Database. Data Warehouse stores data for corporate and enterprise-wide, whereas DataMart stores departmental level data. Example, sales data, product data, market data. DataMart is a subset of Data Warehouse data. Or, in other words, Data Warehouse is union of all DataMarts. Now let's see a high-level view of enterprise data warehouse systems lifecycle. As we see and already learned in this course, we have operational data source, also called ODS, which are loaded with everyday business transactions, and development teams which work on projects to bring this data from ODS and load into warehouse. Operations teams is responsible for managing and maintaining the hardware and software of the organization. And BI team, which uses the data in warehouse to analyze and generate reports in order to take right decisions at the right time. I believe my session was useful and informative. Thank you all for taking your time to watch my video on Introduction to Data Warehouse Basics. And before we log off, let's make sure we recap our takeaway from this course. Basic understanding of data warehouse and data warehousing, why and where DWH is used, and core components in data warehouse architecture. Thank you.